Let's blue collar this.
Yeah.
I'm a city slicker now. I'm back.
All right, so a long time ago, like last week or so, a few weeks ago, we talked about linear equations, right? Mx plus b, slope and an intercept gives you that equation. All right. The biggest thing I want you to realize is what makes a function linear. Okay, so we're going to finish linear. We're going to move on and probably do quadratic and exponential sometime. We're going to focus on linear. The biggest thing I want you to notice, for something to be linear, and this is in that homework set 1, there's questions like, is this linear or not linear? All you do is you look at the powers of your x and your y. The powers dictate what type of function it is. What kind of power are both these being taken to? The first. If you have an x and y being taken to the first power, it's linear. Even if they're on the same side, it doesn't matter. If it's x and y to the first, it's the same power, and they cannot be multiplied by each other. So like if you see an xy equals 5 or something like that, that is not linear. Okay, that's no. No. All right. So that'll be the first thing you guys see when you go about trying this stuff is it linear or not linear? So let's do an example. I'm actually gonna fly today. All right. Is this linear? Do I have an x and a y? Are they both to the first power? So that's a yes. I have an x and a y. Uh-oh, what power is my x? 2. So that is no. Not linear. Yep. No. Get my mic's on. All right. Oh, x and y to the first power. Is that a yes? Why not? What would I have to do to get the y upstairs? Multiply it. So that's actually 5xy, that tricky little function, attempt at a function. Well, it is function. Attempt at linear. Can you multiply those? No. Can you guys see that square root is over the x? So is that x to the first power? No. Just a quick reminder, these two things are the same thing. 1/2 power is a square root. Okay, so that is a no. Oh, look at this mess. Do I have to solve it to see if it's linear or not? Or can I just look at it? I'm just going to look at it. Is every x and y to the first? Yeah, so it's a yeah. And none are being multiplied. And on that one, what power are they to? Squared, so that's a no. There we go. You guys can do the first question on homework 4.1. What's up? What happens when you square root when you solve? You get plus or minus. If you were to graph this, actually, that's a good question. If you were to graph this, it's actually going to be a curved shape. Well, you will see that if you take pre-calc. Because that's what you're going to deal with, is conic sections. All right. So this is why I said the 4.1, 4.2 kind of. All the graphing is on the 4.2 homework. So I'm going to come back and do this on Monday. So we're going to skip all the graphings on the 4.2 homework. So like if you want to say anytime you see a graph, that's 4.2. So that's why they're kind of mixed together. So we're going to do graphing later. So we're going to skip way ahead to the page that says slope. Okay? Way ahead to the page that says slope. Way ahead to the page that says slope. So, on slope, changing what? We're way ahead. I know you guys can't see the captions on the printouts. I'm sorry for that. Change in y to change in x. Okay? We've seen this before, right? We did this. It was on the last unit test. In fact, some of these slides are going to be exactly the same. We talked about increasing, decreasing, constant. Increasing lines have positive slopes. So positive slope, the line goes up, right? Now be careful. The number one mistake that's made with this is that I might see like a 1/2 x, so a 1/2 slope. And in my head, you're taught a lot of times, so something's less than 1, like exponentials, it's a decreasing. But is that positive? So it's still increasing. It's only positive, negative. Okay? If it's negative, it goes down. And if it's 0, it stays the same. Okay? So this is, again, like in homework 1. No, this is going to be one of those obnoxious videos because I have to keep clearing my throat. All right. Give the slope and state whether it's increasing or decreasing. This is another homework question that you might run into. What's the slope of this beast? -2. So then it would be decreasing. It's negative. Right? This one is +2. Increasing. Yeah or no? If this is all that was going to be on the next unit test, would you guys be happy? Uh-oh. This one doesn't have an x. It found its person forever. What does that mean is in front of the x? 0. Also remember that is a horizontal line. And horizontal lines have no slope. So that one is going to be constant. Okay. So if there's no x, there's a 0 in front of x. Oh, a fraction. 1/3 my slope means it's... So think about this. So if that's a 2, that's going to look like that. That's going up pretty quick. 2 for every 1. -2 is going down pretty quick. 1/3 is going up just a lot slower. It's still increasing. It's like me running. I will still increase my distance just a lot slower than probably everyone else in here. -1/2. That's going to be a slow decrease. Right. This is another one that throws people off. If they just see x, a common answer when I'm teaching algebra and such is that's constant because you don't see a number in front. So you're just like, oh, but we know there's a number in front. It's 1. And that's positive. Are you sure? Positive. Yes. That's increasing. So this will get you through over 25% of the homework in 4.1. All right, how do you find a slope? How can I find the slope of this by looking at it? You isolate the y, iso. Now, there is a shortcut to these, actually, that I may have alluded to in your younger days. And that's just, it's always going to be, what is it, your x over y opposite. So I know that's going to be 5/7 by looking at it. It works every time. But let's make sure we can do it the long way, just in case we need to. We need to get the y by itself. Because if we get y by itself, we know slope. So I'm going to subtract 5x. I get negative 7y. Right? Do I care about the intercept if I'm looking for slope? No. In fact, a lot of times, it sounds bad, but if I'm just looking for slope, I would just ignore that 14 as I'm going because it's not going to matter. All that matters is what's in front of my x. Now I'm going to divide everything by negative 7. And I get y equals, a negative divided by negative is a positive. Hey, look, it was 5/7 like I thought it was going to be. And that's my slope. What about, oh no. Don't tell people I'm telling the world this. If I'm looking for slope, what can I do with these parts? I'm just going to ignore them. I know I could deal with them. It's not that hard. I'm just going to ignore it because is it going to matter in the grand scheme for slope? No. All right, so get my y's on one side, my x's on the other. So I'm going to subtract 3y. I'm going to add 3x. So I get 5y equals 8x. Divide by 5. There's my slope. No, absolutely not. All right. This is demon time. All right. Are we good on that? We're halfway through what we can do on the homework now. Can you find the slope from an equation? Yep. Can we tell if it's increasing, decreasing? Yep. Can we tell if it's linear or not? All right, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff. What about this beast? Have we seen that formula before? All right. So here we go. Have we seen? We just did this formula last unit, correct? We saw it last unit. We're going to see it again. It's a very important formula. Okay. In fact, I think we did this, but we'll do another example for funsies. You guys have been doing a nice job. This shows up on the homework as well. So let's just have one at the ready to make our life easier. Sound good? All right, so given the point 2, -4 and -310, find the slope between those 2 points. So I'm going to do my change in y's over my change in x's. Yarnar. All right, let me use my notes. Becomes a plus over -5. Can I leave it like that? Yeah. Do you know what the hardest part about teaching like Math 8 and stuff, and things like that is? It's because you spend so much time changing that to mixed numbers, and then you get here and you never do it again. So I always feel bad making you do it. All right, are we going to, if you want more examples again, what can you do? There's the other videos posted. You can try and look at that. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time on slope because we did it last unit. We're not graphing today, okay? So we're gonna graph on Monday. Yeah. So we're actually going to jump way ahead. Because all 4.1 is about in the homework is about finding the equations of lines. And then the second one's all about graphing them. Okay, so we're only going to worry about finding equations today. We'll graph on Monday. We'll work on Tuesday. Tuesday's blue collar day. So what do I do if they give me the slope and a point? So we did a little bit of this last unit, but now we're going to really hit it hard. We're all the way up. We skipped a whole bunch of stuff. So if you watch, Dr. Webster's going to do it a different way than I do. Both ways work, okay? The way I've always done this is I use this formula. Point slope. You're going to use this formula a lot, okay? You're going to use this formula a lot. This unit, and then next semester we would. This says if I have a slope and a point, do I have a slope and a point? Yeah. Here's my slope. Here's my point. Plug it in and get y by itself. So y minus 8 equals 3 times x minus 4. Any questions where I got any of those numbers from? It's rough today. All right. Distribute. Although technically, is that an equation of line? It is. But we're going to ask you to convert to y equals mx plus b. Be careful. So I do y minus 8 equals 3x minus 12. Add my 8. And y equals 3x minus 4. There we go. All right. So that's, they gave us the slope. What if they don't give us the slope? What are we going to have to do? We have to find the slope. That's it. We're just adding another step. We're given 2 points. Find the slope. Pick a point. Which point will I plug into that? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Okay? Because technically, I could start going right now. I could do y minus y1, and then slope, right? I'm just plugging in my point from above. I'm missing slope, but luckily, I have the tools in my tool belt to find it. So I'm going to do my y minus y, right? My y2. I'm going to just jot this down for myself so I don't forget it. I'm going to do my negative 11 minus negative 1, right? 2 minus negative 3. Subtracting negatives like going to Sweden. Flag's a big plus. Big plus. So what's that? Negative 10 over 5. Negative 2. Questions on that? Are we good? Are we great? Now, do I have everything I need to do this? Oh, you're going to be mad if you wrote this part up. So I can plug in my negative 2 up here, right? Now I have to solve it. So that becomes a positive. That becomes a positive. Y plus 1 equals negative 2x minus 6. Subtract the 1. Y equals negative 2x minus 7. And that's my equation. Yeah or no? Would you guys like to see another one, or do you feel good about it? Okay. Remember, if you would like to see another one, there is another example online that you can watch and try. Or if you want more notes to it, this is beneficial. All right. This will get you through, I think, 6 of the 8 questions on homework 1, actually. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pause for a second. All right, so we actually are in the 4.3 notes on the website, but this is in the 4.1 homework, okay? This a question like this is in the 4.1 homework. I don't know. So this question, example 1, is like in the 4.1 homework. Sound good? So equipment leasing company is charges $4,300 for a delivery charge, and that's $450 per day for an industrial mixer. Write the equation for cost of the mixer after D days. Okay. So cost I don't know yet. Because we don't know cost, because what do we have to know cost? Days. So C is what I put in front. I don't know the cost, but I do know what is my rate. Rate is slope, and slope is rate. What's my rate? Is there a per somewhere besides by a cat? Ha. We don't hang out with cats because we're college algebra dogs. So it's $450 per day. That's my rate. So that's my slope. 450 times number of days. But now I do have an initial cost. My initial is 4,300. So that's my equation, right? It's total equals slope, your rate, times whatever, however many, plus your initial value minus your initial value, right? The secret, like I said, for looking for slope is you're looking for something per. Miles per hour is a rate, right? You're looking for per, and that'll give it to you. Now, how would I find the total cost after 14 days? Plug it in. 450 times 14. Someone help me out with this. I did not. My brain's not that good of a calculator. 90. What's 9 times 7? 63. 6,300. I got 10,600 in my head. All right. $10,600. Well, at that rate, Jiminy Crickets, Tony's making bank rent now and stuff. You could buy it at that cost. All right, are we good on that one? You just want to finish it? We can just finish it. Let's just finish it. So if we, after the next problem, you should be able to do most of what's in 4.1. I completely forgot about one thing. All right, story problem time. Story problem. Again, this is in 4.1. So he bought a stock and he held it for some years. It's worth $15.25 in 2008, $19.09 in 2020. That's actually not, that's not bad. It's not bad. And he wants to know what is an equation to find out what the stock price will be in the future. Do I have a rate here? Do I have a slope? Nope. Could I find a slope? Yeah, because I have a year. Now, would a stock price determine the year? Or will the year determine the stock price? Like, does time determine prices of stuff? Yeah. So this is going to be my X, right? X1, X2. But then I'm measuring, because my equation is going to be cost or money, right? So that's going to be my Y. And this is going to be my Y1, Y2. So will that give me, can I get slope from that? Absolutely. So I'm going to do what? 19.09 minus 15.25 over 2020 minus 2008. Now, could I have treated that as 0 and that is 12? Yeah, I would just have to say years at, oh, actually I do have to do that. Why do I have to do that? What does he want to do? What does he want to do? Years after 2008. How many years after 2008 is 2008? 0. How many years after 2020 is how many years after 2008 is 2012? Good, that makes our life a lot easier, doesn't it? 12, yeah, it's 12. What's this equal? 0.75, 0.84, 4, 12, 8, 3.84? No. Yeah, 3.84. I don't need a calculator. I should probably use it. What's this slope? I can't do this in my head, though. Someone help me out. It's my first day. 0.32. Nice job, sir. So now I have a slope. I have a point, so I can find it. So I can do y minus 15.25 equals slope times, 0, right? When I make that years after, it makes it a lot easier, correct? Because it just becomes y equals 0.32x, because that doesn't matter. And then I add the 15.25 over. Now, if I put that in on my Moodle, I will get it wrong. Why? 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 What letters did it want me to use? PT. Don't trust PT. Never mind. So actually, you would want to put P equals 0.32 T plus 15.25. There we go. We did it. Nice job, team. Nice job.